In this video, we're going to see how you can configure Angular material using a standalone component. This is the first page that we are going to create, that it is 100% responsive. If you put here a user that it is incorrect, we are going to show a message like this. If you put a user that it is correct, you will be redirected to a dashboard, where here we have three pages. Here it is the page most important. Here we have some different actions. You can add a new user, you can edit a new user, you can delete the user. We are going to see how you can do the pagination here. Also, we are going to see how you can apply here the order, and also how you can filter the table. Okay. Another action that we are going to see is how you can delete a user. Here, if I click here, we delete the user and we show a message. Another action is add a new user. For example, here I will put a new user. This one we are going to work with Reactive Forms. And here we have a user that a message that the user was added successfully. But for example, if I put something wrong, I can edit the user, and here I will put Thomas, and as you can see here, the user was updated successfully. This is the app that we are going to create. See you in the next video. Okay, so let's start. I will create a new folder here in the desktop. I will call it Angular, and also I will open a new terminal, and I will move to this folder. Now, if you want to create a new project in Angular, you need to use this command ng new and the name of the project. In this moment, I will put Angular material, and I will press enter. Here, the Angular click asks us which style sheet format would you like to use. I will put here SAS. If you want to use another one, it's okay. And then, do you want to enable server-side rendering? I will put no, but if you can put yes if you want. Now we need to wait a little. Once the install was finished, I will move to the folder that it was created. This one. I will put cd Angular material, and if you have Visual Studio Code installed in your computer, you can run this command code dot, and you are going to open Visual Studio Code in the folder that you are. But if you are using another editor, it's okay. You only need to open the project. So this terminal I will close because I will use this an integrated terminal. You can go here to terminal, new terminal, and in order to run our project, you need to use the command -r -o if you want to open the Google Chrome automatically. Here, Angular asks us, would you like to share anonymous data? You can put yes or no, it doesn't matter. This message only appears one time. So here we have our project. Okay, and all of these codes we have here in the app component. As you can see here, we are using standalone components. You are not using modules, but if you want to use modules in this project, it is easier. Okay, here I will go to HTML file, and I will delete everything except the last line, that it is router, because we are going to use this directive. And here I will put hello world. I will save the change, and I will go back to our project, and here we have the text updated. Okay, so now I want to configure Angular material, so I will go to the official site of Angular Material. I will put here Angular Material. And it is super easy the install. Here it is the official site. You can read a little here if you want, but we are going to go here to get started. Okay, here we did these steps. We have Node.js, we have the Angular CLI, etc. And now we create our project, and now we need to add Angular material to our project. So I will copy this line. I will go back to our project. I will stop the project with Control C. And now I will paste this one. So I will press enter, and now we need to wait a little. Here the package say us the package Angular material will be installed and execute. Would you like to proceed? I will put yes. Here, if we go back to our project, the question that we are going to have is which theme we want to use. Here you can see different themes. In our case, we are going to choose this one, or then we can go here and see which questions we need to answer. So wait a little. So Angular asks us choose a preview theme. In our case, I will choose the second one, but if you can choose whatever you want. Then set up a global Angular material typography styles. I will put yes. And here, if we want to include the Angular animation modules, I will put that we want. So we are almost finished. As you can see here, the package JSON was updated, and if we go back to the documentations, here we did these steps, and then the documentation say us that we added some dependencies to the package.jsons. We added this style to the index HTML, the icons to the index HTML. So as you can see here, in every part that we have this M, we put something. For example, here in the package.jsons, in this line, in the dependencies, this line was added. Here in the index HTML, these two lines was added. One for the icons, and this one for the for the styles. And here in the global styles, these two lines were added. Okay, so I will go back to the we finish with the configuration of Angular material, and then here we have an example to check if everything is working properly. But one thing to keep in mind, that in this moment the documentation is not using Angular component. As you can see here, the documentation is using modules. If you want to use modules, it's easier than using standalone component, because if you are using a standalone component, you need to put every time that you want to use something in a specific component, you need to import it. Otherwise, if you are using modules, you can create, you can put in the app module everything, or you can create another module with things about Angular material and then import, and it is easier. But okay, now in this moment, I want to check if this is working correctly. So I will copy this one, and I want to check if this component, I want to configure this component only in the app component HTML. So I need to go to this file. I will import here this module, and I need to import this module in the import rights. If you are using modules, you need to do exactly the same, but add this one to the app modules. So, and then we need to copy this one. I will copy this one in the HTML file. I will copy here. I will save both files, and now I will execute the project. And if everything was configured correctly, we should see the component in our page. So here we are, and here, as you can see, we are seeing this toggle, so we configure Angular correctly. So now the objective that we have is we're going to create a new component, and we are going to add a login and two components of Angular material, the inputs and also the buttons. So let's go back to our project. I will create a new component. So if you don't want to stop the project, you can go to here and add a new terminal. So I will create a new folder within the app. I will call the folder component, or you can call it pages, it's the same. And in order to create a new component, you need to use the command ng degenerate c of component, and then you need to state in which is the path I want to create within the folder component, and the component is going to be the name. It's going to be login. I will press enter, and now you can see here we create this component, and this next step is render this component in the app component HTML. In order to do that, the name of the component is app login, so we can go to the HTML. I will delete this one, and here I will put app login. I will save the change. This terminal I can't close, but here, as you can see, we are having a new error that says app login is a Angular component. We have this error that app login is not an element node. This happened because we are using a standalone component, and we are trying to use this component within app component HTML. In order, if you want to, we need to do only a little configuration. Here in the import, we need to add the components that we want to use within the app component. So I will add here login component. Here I will put component. I will save the change, and now everything is working correctly. And if we go back to our project, we can see login works, and we can inspect a little here. I will do this one a little bigger. And as you can see here, we have the body, we have app root, and within the app root, we have app login. Okay, so now the next step is to put this one is in the middle of the page. How you can do that? We have different ways. In this moment, we are going to use Flexbox. So I will go back to our project. I will go to the component login component, and I will create a new class, a new div with the class body, and I will put this one this one here inside, and here I will put a text login. Okay, so here we have login, and we have this objective. So I will put inspect. I will search for this class body, and I will say that this class is going to apply flexbox. So we need to use displays flex. If you want to center this one to the middle, in the middle, you need to use the property justify content center, and then I will put a background. I will put here the background color, and here I will put the color this color. Sorry. Okay, we have login here with this color. If you want to put the login, the childs of the body in the middle, we need to put another property, height 100%, because I want that these have all of the screen. And the last property that we need is align items center, And here, as you can see, we have the login in the middle. So I will copy these properties. I will go back to our project, and I will go to the CS file. I will say, okay, the class body is going to have these properties. I will save the change, and now, as you can see, we have login. We have this text login in the middle of the screen, and if it is totally responsive, as you can see here, we can see how this is always in the middle of the screen. So now we are going to put an image here. So there is a website very good that it is Flaticom. I will go here, and here you have plenty of image. I will search for user. I will search, and here you can choose whatever image you want. In my case, I will put what image? This one. I will download as a PNG. Okay. I will open the folder, and we need to add this image to our project. Um, so I will drag and drop, but the image goes to, usually the image we put in the asset, within the folder asset. I will create another folder that it is image, and I will drag and drop this image, but I will change the name. I will put here user, maybe. Okay, now we have the image in our project, and we need to reference this image to here. I will create a new element image, and in order to reference this image to this image, you have two ways. You can use absolute. You have a relative paths or absolute path. In this case, I will use relative paths. I will go one level up, another level, and here we have the asset folder, image folder, and user. I will save the change. I will go back to our project, and here we have the image, but it is too big, so we can go to our project. Here I will put img, and here I can put I don't know, maybe a height of 30%. Let's see how it is look like. Maybe a little less, by 20. Okay, 20. I don't know if okay. Okay, the next step is to put login below the other class. How you can do that? I will go back to our project. I will create a new class. That this class I will call it login, and I will put these two elements within this class login. So now I will go to the CS file, and here in the CS file, I will put, okay, the class login, that this class, if you are using SAS, you can do this. I will say that I want this class be the weight 100%. Also, the max weight, it's going to be 330 pixels, and I want all of the elements I want to be in the middle. So we can put here text align center. I will save the changes, both changes. I will go back to our project, and here we have, but this one is too big. What happened here? Too big. Here height, if I put here 30. Okay, we are not going to use percent, a little more, 60. What is going on here? Let me check something. This is too small. But why is so small this one? Okay. I will put here a height of 50. Let's see how it is look like. Image 50, 70 maybe. Okay, now it is good. Okay, the next step is we want to put two inputs here. So let's go again to Angular material. Let's go to the component. Let me check something. Okay. Let's go. We want to use the this one form file. So in order to use this component, you need to I need to copy this file. Let's go to our project, and I will put here below. I will save the change, and here we have the same problem that we had before. That says that math form field is not an element node. So what we need to do is to add this. We need to add this module to our component. So I will copy this one. I will go back to our project, and I will put here in the login here. I will put here Angular material. I will put this module here within the imports. I will save the change, and now everything is working. But if we go back to our project, we have this that we are missing something, because here we are using this element, but also we need to import the input. So let's go to the input, and let's go to the API, and we also need to import this another module. So I will copy this one, and I will add to the import arrays. I will save the change, and here we have the input. So let me check something. We are using here, okay, login. Okay. Okay, and also we need to add another one, password. So let's put here input, and also I will copy this one. I will put another one. I will put here user password. I will save the change. I will format the document. So okay, we have the user, we have the password, and the thing that it is missing is the button. So let's go to again to the Angular material. I will go to the button, and I want to put this one primary flat. So let's go to the code. We need to copy this one. Let's back to our project. I will put another HTML element, and I will paste this one, and here I will put login. I will save the change, but we have this problem. Here in this moment we don't have any error, but this is not working, so we need to import also this module. So I will copy this one. I will go back here. I will paste this other module. I will save the change. Let's see if everything is working. Everything is working, but I want to I want to add a few classes here. So let's go to our component again, and within the class login, I will say, okay, all of this element, I want to apply a width of 80%. I will put here the width, it's going to be 80%, and also the button, the buttons, it's going to be 80%. let's see how this look like. Let's go again to our project. And here, as you can see, we are. It is a little better, and I want to the login. I want to be a little higher. So let's go back. I will put a height here of 50 pixels. So I don't like too much this. If you want to change the theme, you can go to Angular Material. I will go here, and here, as you can see, at the beginning, we put that we want to install. In this case, we have this one, but I want to change the theme. If you want to change the theme, you need to go to. It is very easy. The only thing that you need to do is go to the angular.json, and here in the styles you need to change. In my case, I want to change. I want to use this indigo pink. So I will copy this label, and I will put here. I will save the change. I don't know if I need to. Okay, I need to cancel the project, and I will execute again the project, and we will see if everything is working again. So let's wait a little, and here as you can see the thing was changed. Okay, now we are going to work in the logic of this component. We are going to add reactive forms to this form, and also we are going to add two new Angular material components. If the user put here an user and password that are incorrect, we are going to show here this element, and if the user put a user that it is correct, we are going to show this component, and then we are going to redirect to the dashboard that we are going to work in a little. So let's start. What we are going to do is go to our project. We are going to go to the login component TS, and we need to add reactive forms to our project. Here I will put. We need to add the module of the reactive forms. I will type here reactive forms module, and now I will create a new variable that it is going to be form, and I will call it form, and this variable it's going to be the type form group, because in this form we are going to have two elements, the user and the password. Here we have an error because it says that the property forms has not been initialized there. But I will create a constructor, and here in the constructor I will inject a new class that it is going to help us to create this form, and it is very useful. This class is form builder. So here I will say, okay, this local variable, this form, it is going to be equals to this variable fb, and this one it is going to be the type group, and here we need to pass the controls. In here we are going to have only two controls. I will put here an object, and the first control that we are going to have is going to the name is going to be user, and the configuration here we need to put here an array. In the first value, this value it's going to be the value for default, and then we need to put the validation. In order to put the validation, we need to put as a comma, and I need to import here validators dot required. Okay, and I will do the same for the other property that it is going to be password. I will say the change. I will execute the project again, and we need to do some step more. We need to connect this form that it is configured in this file to the HTML file. Okay, so let's see if everything is working correctly. I will put here. I will change here. I will put the login. Let me see something. Okay. Okay, everything is okay. Let's continue. What we need to do is connect the HTML here with this form. I will say, okay, here in the HTML, I will create a new element form. I will delete the action, and I will put everything inside for in this form. Then how we can connect this form? I need to use a new directive here in the form. I need to say using property binding, and the directive is form group, and this one it is going to be equals to form. Okay, now we have been connected the forms with the HTML. Now we need to connect every property with each input. Here we need to use another directive that the name is form control form control directive. I think it is. Let me check. It is form control name, and here I need to put the name. In this case it is user, and I need to do the same with the password. Okay, I will save the change, and here we have a problem because says we cannot bind form group. Here I put ground the name is form group. I will save again the change, and everything is working correctly. Okay, so now the idea is when the user clicks in this button, we need to get the values that the user input, and if the user is correct, we need to show the login, and if the user is incorrect, we need to show the error message. How we can do that? I will say in this input, I forget to put the type. The type it is going to be submit, and when the user click in this button, we are going to execute a method. This is Angular and she submit, and I need to create this method that it is login. So I will create this method, and I will do here a console log to see if everything is working. Login. I will save pod files, and let's check if everything is working. I will put something. Okay, we are missing something. Login is here, and she submit. This type is submit. We are missing something that I don't know what it is, and she submit. It is. I put it is. It is. It's not NG submit. It is NG submit. Now I will save the file again. I will put something here. The password should be is here in this moment. I have text. Now in a little I will change again. And here, if when the user clicks here, as you can see, we are executing the method. Okay, let's go back to our project, and I will put the input. This input, the user, it is going to be the type text. This another input of the password. It is going to be password. So password. So in this moment, if the user put the password, we are not seeing. Okay. Now the thing is how I can get this value. We have a few different ways here in Angular. I will create a new constant. I will put user. This constant it's going to be the type string, and I need to access to this variable form, and then I need to put value, and then I need to put the name of this property user, and I will do the same with the password, and I will do a console log of the form because I want to show you something. And also I will do, sorry, a console log of the user and the password. Okay, um, it is not necessary to put this here because it is a local variable. I will save the change. I will go again to our project, and here I will put a user, a password, and when I press here in the login, we are getting here the user and the password, and here I am printing this form, this variable, that here we have a lot of information. Here we have the controls, we have if the form is valid or not, if it was touched. We have plenty of things, and we can do a lot of things with this information. So now we need to check if the user is correct. In this case, we don't have a backend. I will do a fake login. For example, here I will say, okay, if the user is Juan and the password is admin 1, 2, and 3, here we need to redirect to dashboard. Otherwise, we need to show an error. Okay, I will start with the error. In order to show the error, I want to you need to go to Angular material. I will go here to the components, and in order to show an error, I will use this component snack bar. So in order to use it, we need to import this module. I will copy this one. I will go back to our project, and I will import here in, and now we can use this component. Here we can go to the examples, and here we have different examples. Here, for example, this is the component that we are going to use. You can configure if you want to put this one in the right, in the top. As you can see here, you can do this configuration very easy. So let's see the TypeScript code, and here is the code. We need to do only two things. First, we need to inject through injection dependency injection this class. Here in the constructor, I will import this class, and then here I'm going to create another method that I will call it error. I will call this method here in this if, and here I will copy paste this code, and as a method, here this text I will put incorrect username or password. The position of the element I want to be the horizontal position I want to be in the center, and in the vertical position at the bottom. So here I will put bottom. I will save the change to see if everything is working. Let me check. Here we have incorrect username or password. I don't like this button, so what we can put this button as empty. I will save the change. Sorry. And let me check. Okay, here we have incorrect username or password. Another property that we can set is the duration. Here I will put only 3 seconds. Here it is. This is in millisecond. And another thing that I want to do is to put this button as a disable when the user enter to the page, because in this moment the form is invalid. If you click here in the login. Okay, here I don't have the, let me do again the console log of the form to see something. If the user clicks here, you can see that we have here some information. For example, the status is invalid, and here we have this method that in this moment it is invalid the form. But if the user puts something, the same property now invalid is false. So what we can do with this property, we can go here to the HTML file and say, okay, this button I want this button to be disabled if form dot is this form dot invalid is true. So now if I save the change, you can see that in this moment it is invalid, but when the user puts something, now it is valid. Okay. Here when the user put a user incorrect username or password, we can reset the form. I can put here this dot form dot reset. Let me check, and here we are resetting the form. And the last thing is when the user put when the user is correct and the password is correct, I want to show an spinner, and then I want the user be redirected to the dashboard. So let's go again to the Angular material. Let's go to the components, and I will use this another module. So what we need to do is import this module. I will copy. I will go back to our project. I will import this module. I will save the change. Now let's go to the examples. I need to put this one as I will copy this element. I will put here in the HTML. I will put this one above the form, and let's check if it's working. Okay, here we have this spinner, but it is too bigger. Here we have a property that the property is diameters. In order to do this, if you want to do bigger or smaller, so let's copy this one. I will put here the diameter with the value of 50. Let's see if now it is bigger, it is smaller. And then I want to put this spinner in the middle. You have different way to do that. One way is to set some property here in the, let me check here, which is the element. Here it is the element. We can put here something like text align or margin 0 auto, and here we have this element in the middle. So let's go to our project. I will say here that the element mat spinner in this file, it's going to have a margin of 0 auto, and here we have this element in the middle. Okay, but this spinner, I want to show this spinner when the form is invalid, and then when the user put a user that it is correct, and then when the user is redirected to the dashboard. So I will create a new local variable here in the component login component. I will call loading. It is going to be the type. It is going to be Boolean, and the type. And initially, I will put this one as a false. So in the HTML file, I will say, okay, I will use the directive ngIf. In Angular 17 and higher, you have another ways to implement the ngIf, ng4. In this case, I will use this one, but you only have a new approach So here I will say, okay, if the property loading, I will show the matte spinner when the loading is true. So, and I want to show the form when the loading is false. So I will save the files. Here we have an error because we cannot use the ngIf. Here we need to import the common module because we are using standalone component. So instead of import common module that you are importing a lot of things, we can import this directive. So in this case, or bundles of or the bundle of our app is going to be smaller. So now I will save the file and everything is working properly. Let me check. Here we have the form. If I put here the property loading as a true, now we have the loading. Okay. The idea is when the user put here the username correct, Juan, and the password is also correct, we need to show the login only in this case. So let's go back to our project. Here we have the login. This I will delete. And here we can do something like I will create a new method here, or fake login, fake login. I will call it. I will call this method here. And here I will use a function of JavaScript that it is set timeout. And this function, it is going, okay, before this function, I want to, the property loading, I want to be this property as a true. And then when we have after 2 seconds, I want to this property be false. Loading, it's going to be false. And then we need to redirect to the dashboard that we are going to work in a few minutes. So look, if you put here a user that it is incorrect, we have this message, and if we put Juan and the password admin 1 2 and 3, we have this loading, and then we are going to be redirected to the dashboard page. Okay, now the idea that we have is to work in the routing and also in the dashboard. When the user puts here an user, for example, we are going to show the spinner, and then we are going to be redirected to the dashboard. We are going to work here in the navbar, and here we are going to create three components, and we are going to work in the routing. As you can see here, the navbar is always there, but you can change here the components, and if we click here, we can do the logout. So let's start. First thing that we are going to do is create the three components here. I will create the first component, and she within the folder component, and it is going to be the dashboard. And then within the dashboard, we are going to create three components more. I will create the component welcome. Also, I will create another component that users. I will name it users or user. And the final one, it is going to be reports. Okay. Okay. I will execute again our project, and she's our. Okay, let's wait a little. And the idea is when the user click here in login and the user is correct, we need to redirect the user to the dashboard page. Okay. But the thing is that now, if we go to the app component, to the root, we are always rendering here the app login, so we need to do some refactor here. I will delete here this one, and we need to work in this file of router outlet. So let's go to this file, and we need to say, okay, I will add a new object, and I will say, okay, when the path it is login, I want to render the component login component. So now, if we save the change, nothing is working because we have only this route. But if I put here login, the router is working. So, but the user is not going to put this URL. The user, when we enter to our page, is going to put this URL. Okay. What we can do is add a new object and say, okay, the path, when the path is empty, I want to be redirected to the login, and I need to set the path match with the strategy of tool. Okay, now if I save the change, as you can see here, when the user put this URL, we are automatically be redirected to a login. So now the thing that we need to do is, when the user clicks here in this button and the user is correct, we need to render the dashboard component. So we need to add a new object here and say, when the path is dashboard, I want to render the component dashboard component. So if we save the change, and here if we put dashboard, we are rendering the dashboard. But I want to render the dashboard when the user clicks here in this button, and also it is correct. How we can do that? Let's go to the here I have an error because these components I want it inside the dashboard. Let's move this component. I will select this one. I mean, you can put the components here in the root, but it depends. This is I prefer put this component within the dashboard because it's going to be on for the dashboard. So let's go back to the login, and here when the user is correct, we are showing the fake login. And here at this instance, we need to redirect the user to the other page. In order to use the router from the file, from the JavaScript file or TypeScript file, we need to import a new class that it is going to be private. I will call it router, and it is this class router. You need to import router from Angular router. So now we can go to this method. Once the set timeout is finished, I will call this instance of router, and I will use this method navigate, and the syntax is between parentheses and square brackets. Here you need to put which is the URL that you want to be redirected, and in this case it's dashboard with the dash. Okay, now let's check if this work. I will put login, and here we are redirected to the dashboard. If you don't put this dash, the thing is you are going to try to render this component or this route, and this route doesn't exist. So keep in mind which is the difference if you put here the dash or not, because it is different, you know. So okay, now we are being redirected to the dashboard. The next thing that we are going to do is is work here in the dashboard. I want to put a toolbar, so let's go to the Angular material again. I go to here to to the component. I will scroll a little down, and the component, the new module that we are going to add is this one, toolbar. Okay, here we have an example. First, you need to import here this module. Let's go back to our project. I will save this one. And then we need to go to the component that you are going to put the toolbar that I forget to create. So I will open a new terminal here, and I will put ng generate, see the component. I want to be within the folder component and also within the folder dashboard. And the component is going, the name is going to be navbar. That is the menu, you know. Okay, here we have the navbar. I can close this tab. Let's go to the navbar, and here in the component.ts we need to add this component, Angular material. We need to import this module. So I will add this one to the imports. I will save the change. I will go back, and we need to see if everything is working correctly. I will put this my application, only this one. Let's go to the HTML file. I will copy this one. I will save the change. I will format the document. I will format the document. What is happening here? Okay, let's, well, here I have an error. I don't know why, but okay, for the moment. Okay, so I will refresh here the page. Here I have a problem because I am putting this one. It is not being refreshed. I forgot here in the dashboard. I need to link the navbar. So I will put here app navbar. And remember at this point, what is going to happen? Do you think that it is going to work, or do you think that it is going to, we are going to have an error? So we are going to have an error because we are using a standalone component, and we need to put here in the dashboard component, we need to import this component. So let's go to here, and here in the imports I will put navbar component, and now it should work, but it is not working because here we have a app navbar. App navbar is not an element node, but here we have app navbar. I will execute again the app to see. Let's check again. So we are having a problem. What is the problem? I will comment this one. I will save the change. Okay. It is look like that this is the problem, but let's check. I will go to the dashboard. Okay. If I uncomment this one, what is going to happen? Well, here it is the problem. What is the problem? Because we are here in the navbar, we are importing mat toolbar module. It is correct, this one. Here I will say, now it is working. I don't know why, okay, now it's working. Okay, here we have the navbar. I don't like this color. If you want to put another color, we can use a property here, color, and put here, for example, primary. I will save the change. And here we have the, okay, we have the color was changed. Okay, now I want to put 3 buttons here, and also a button here in order to do the logout, and I will change this title. So let's go again to this example, and let's see. First, I want this class. In a few seconds, I will tell you why why we need this class. I will change here the name. I will put here, I don't know, app users, maybe. Okay. And I want to add 3 buttons. So let's go to the buttons, and I want to add these buttons. So this is the button primary that I will add. And what do you think now? It's going to work or not? It is working. It is not working. I mean, we don't have an error here, but it is not working. And the reason that it is not working because we also need to import, because in the login we import here we have the button. But for every component that it is going to use some components, we need to import this module. So let's import here this module in the TS file. So I will import this one. I will save the change, and here, which is the problem now? Primary app users. Let me remove the primary because the problem is the color. Yeah, we are going to remove the color because the background is the same color, and I will put here welcome. No, I don't remember users report and welcome. Okay, here we have the three buttons, but this button I want to be in the middle. I will go back to the toolbar, and here we have a class. If we open the file here, it is example. This class is useful if you want to put spaces in spaces. Let me show you what I mean, what I'm trying to say. Here, if you put here this class, this one it's going to be in the left, and this one it's going to be on the right, as you can see here. And if you put here this class here, this is going to be in the middle. And I want to add here another button that this button is going to here. Maybe it is dashboard, better the name dashboard. Okay. I want to add an icon, so let's go and add. It is going to be a button, and within the button we are going to add the icon. So let's put here. Let's save to see. Well, here we have an error because we need to import the icons in this component. So let's go to the icons. Let's go to the API. Copy this import. And add the import here. Now let's wait, and here we have the icon, but I don't like this icon. I want a specific icon, so let's go to the overview, and here you can go to this page, material icon font, and here if you scroll a little, you can click here in material icon library, and here you have plenty of icons to choose, and you can put in your application whatever icon you want. I will search here for logout, and this is the icon that I want. You have a different way to insert in your application. In this case, the only thing that I need to do is put here the name of the logo, and it's going to, here it is the logo that we want to use. So we finished the navbar, but the thing is, now I want to configure the routing. When the user clicks here in the users, I want to render the user component, but I want to have always here the navbar. So now we are going to see how you can configure child root, because the navbar it's going to be destroyed if the user is log out, but then the dashboard, this navbar is going to be present when the user is login. But I want to change the component here in this section of the app. So let's go back to our project. This navbar I will close everything. And the first thing that I want to do is you need to go to the dashboard component HTML, and here we need to put the same directive that we put here in the root of the component. This directive I will copy it and I will paste here. This is one step. Here I have an error because, as you can see in the app component, in order to use this directive, we need to import this directive router outlet. So if we copy this one and go back to dashboard, and we add it to the imports array, and we import it, here the route is on. So now we need to go to the app route, and for now we have only two routes, login and dashboard. But I want to configure some child's root for the dashboard. So here we need to use another property that it is children. Children, it is an array, and here within this array we need to add objects. So I will say when the URL is dashboard and empty, I want to render here the welcome component. So I will say, okay, when this child is empty, sorry, I need to put here path. When the child is empty, the component that I want to render is welcome component. So if we save the change, let's see that we are rendering welcome component. Okay, then I will say when you put dashboard dash users, the component is going to be user component. I will save the change and look this. If you put users, you have user works, the other component, and we need to do the same with the reports. Let's save the change, and everything is working correctly. We have here users, we have reports, and also if the user doesn't put anything, we have welcome works. But there is one thing. What happens if the user puts something that doesn't match with anything? Here you have two approaches. One approach is we can render the user to a component page not found, or maybe you say, okay, if the user puts something that doesn't match with anything, maybe we can redirect the user to the login page. Here, as you can see, if the user puts something that doesn't match, you are having an error, and we need to handle this. So here Angular gives us a wildcard. So I will add here at the root one object more that says, okay, when you put something that doesn't match with anything, I want to be redirected to the login. And it is very important that this object should be at the final of the array. So now if you put something that doesn't match with anything, we are always being redirected to the dashboard. So let's go again to the dashboard. And the last thing that it is missing here related to this feature, we want to redirect the users when the user clicks here. We saw before that in order to redirect users between components, for example, here in the login component, we need to import here this class, and then we need to use this method. But what happens if we want to redirect the user from the HTML file? I will show you another way to redirect the user. For example, let's go to the navbar component, and here I will use the directive router link, and I will say, okay, if the user clicks in this button of dashboards, I want to render dashboard. I will save the change, and here I think, okay, now I don't have any error, but I think I need to import something here. Let's check. Okay, let's finish first, and then we can see if everything is working properly. Here, when the user clicks in this button of users, I want to be redirected to the dashboards dash users, and the last route is reports. Let's see if this is working. Well, and here it is not working, and I don't have any error, but we need to, if we need to import something in order to this router links work. So we need to go here, and the thing that we need to import is router link, this class router link. So now if we save the change, as you can see now, the routing is working. And the last thing that we need to do is when the user clicks in this button, we need to redirect the user. So let's do the same. And here I will say, okay, when the user clicks in this button, we are going to be redirected to the login page. So let's check. Okay, now the idea is to load this menu in a dynamic form. It is super easy and super useful also. So let's back to our project. The first thing that I'm going to do is create a new folder here that it is going to be it is the place that we are going to put the interfaces. In this case, we are going to have only one. Okay, and I will add only one file. Here you can click in this icon, and the name is going to be menu.ts. Okay, I want to export this interface because another files are going to use. This is going to be an interface, and the name is going to be menu. And this interface only is going to have only two properties: name, the type string, and also redirect, also the type string. Okay, we have the menu. Now we are going to create here in assets another folder that it is going to be data, and I will create a JSON file because we are not using a backend. We are simulate a backend, and let's see what we are going to do. Here in the data, I will create a new file that it is going to be menu.json, and here this JSON is going to return an array of 3 objects, and the structure of the object is going to be name, something, redirect, sorry, I need to put here redirect, something. Okay, I will copy these 3 times because we are going to have three items. These 3 items are here this item. So what we are going to put here in the name, dashboard, here users, and here reports. And here in the redirect, we need to put which is the page that we want to be redirected. We can go here to the dashboard, to the navbar, open the HTML file, and we need to put here in the first item dashboard, in the second item dashboard users, and in the last one dashboard reports. Reports. Okay, I will save the file, and here we have this JSON that is going to be simulated like if we are doing a get to some backend. Okay, The third thing that we need is to create a service. Remember that the service in Angular we use for three things. One, it is to do HTTP requests to the backends. Another is to share code between components, and the another one is to communicate data between components. I have a very good video. I will left here in the description. It is about a budget, and I explained very deep how you can use observables to share data. Okay. Here in the app, I will create another folder that I will call it service, and I will create a new service. So I will open a new terminal. I will put ng generate s of service. I want to create the service within the folder service, and the name it's going to be menu. So here we have the two files. This file is related to test, and this is the file that we're going to use. In order to make HTTP requests, we need to inject one class. The class is the class HTTP. I will call the class HTTP, and the class that we need to import is this one, HTTP client. Okay, this service is going to have only one method. I will call the method getMenu, and I will access to this variable HTTP. I will use this method get, and here we need to put which is the URL that we are going to use. In our case, now in this moment, we are here in this folder. So we need to go to the asset. So in order to do that, I will put dot dash. Then we need to go to the folder. First, sorry, we need to go to the assets. Then we need to go to data, and then we need to go to the file menu.json. Okay. If we see this get return an observable here, return an observable. So I will say that this method get menu, it's going to return an observable. I need to import it, and which is the type of this observable? It is going to be an array of menu. So I will import the interface menu, and this is an array, so I need to put that I will return an array. So here we are missing two things. This is an observable. I need to put here the word return, and also I need to typify this get. This get, it's going to return an array of menus. So here return. And here we have finished this service. So I will close this file. Now we need to go to this component, not component, inject the service, and call this method. So I will go to the navbar. I will create the constructor, and I will inject the service. I will call the service menu service, and it is going to be the type menu service. Okay. Now I need to create a method here. I will call set menu, and I need to call menu service dot, which is the method. In this case, is get menu. And if you remember, get menu, it is an observable. If we put here dot, we can subscribe to this method, and then when the method is going to be finished, we are going to execute a function. In this case, we can put an arrow function, and we can do a console log here to see if everything is working properly. So I will save the change. I will go back to our project, and if I open the console, let's see what happened. Okay, first here we have one problem. One problem is that we are using the HTTP client, but if you've been working with the modules, in order to use in order to use this class, we need to import in the app module a module, HTTP client module. I don't remember well the name, but we need to import one module. In this case, that we are using standalone components, we need to go here in the app config, and also we need to import only one thing, that it is provide HTTP client. And now the error, we don't have the error. I will go to the dashboard. We don't have the error, but we don't have here the console log. Okay, what is happening here? In the NAT component, we have the set menu, but in this class we are not calling this class. We can, in order to call this class when the component is rendered, we need to use a life cycle hook. So in order to do that, I need to import one interface that it is on init. Here you can see which is the purpose, and I will create the method, and now here I will call the method. So when the component is rendered, this method is called, and this method is calling set menu, and we are going to see here this console.data. So let's go back to our project, and here we are consuming the data dynamically, this menu. It is not hard-coded. So the next step is to load this one dynamically here. Okay, now it is super easy. What we need to do, we can use here, we have different ways here. You can use a pipe async, you can create a local variable. In this case, I will create a local variable that the name it is going to be menu list, the type it's going to be menu, this is going to be an array, and I will initialize the array empty. So when this method is called and this arrow function is called, I will say that I want to menu list, this local variable is going to be equals to data. So now with this local variable, we can go to the HTML file and render this dynamically. So here you can use a directive. In Angular 17 and the higher version, you can use ng4 and ng if you have different ways to use it. This is the old way, but if you want to use the new, it's exactly the same. So I will use ng4 because I want to iterate the 3 elements. I will call the variable menu, and I want to iterate this variable menu list. So this is the syntax of the ng4. So now we have here the every element, and here I can say, okay, I want to access here to menu.name, and here the router link, I will use property binding, so I need to put here between square brackets, and here I will say, okay, I want to put menu dot, I don't remember well the name, but we can check the interface, and it is redirect, so I will put redirect. Okay, I will save the files, and if everything is, well, here we have a problem, user and reports. Okay, here we have a problem. Well, user and report is there are these 2 buttons I will remove, but here we have a problem that says we are using the directive ng4, but here with the standalone component we need to import this class. Okay, so I will copy this one. I will go to the TS file, and here in the imports I need to import this class ng4. I will put in this way. I will put control dot, and here now if we save the change, everything is working correctly, but in this moment we are rendering the menu in a dynamic way. We can check that. We can go to the menu JSON here, and what do you think that it's going to happen if I copy here? If the backends or in your database you put more data, I will save the change, and let's check. as you can see, we are doing a dynamic form that it is super good. Okay, now the thing that I'm going to do is to add some, I'm going to refresh this one. This redirect is working well. Okay, so I will add a toolbar here for every page. So let's go to the component. Let's go to the toolbar, and I will copy this, and I will paste here in the welcome page. I will close everything first. Okay, I will go to the welcome page. I will put here this toolbar, and here I will put welcome or dashboard. Welcome. I will save the change, and here, as you can see, we are having one problem because we are trying to render Mark toolbar, but we need to import in every component that we want to use this element, we need to import the interface. So let's go to the API. I will copy this, and then I will go here to the TypeScript file. I will copy here this, and I will put here in the import. So now, if I save the both files, let me check. Here we have the this toolbar. I will do the same with the user and the reports. So first, what I will copy this one. I will go to the users. I will put here in the HTML file here users, and the same with the reports. But I need to import in this file also the module toolbar module. So I will copy this one. I will go to the users. Here I will add, mat toolbar, and I will do the same with the reports component. So I will save all of the files, and now everything should be working well. And the last thing that I'm going to do is add a container here, because I will add some margin here in the left, in the right, and on the top. So let's back to our project, and here I will create a new class container. I will copy this one, I will paste, and I will do the same with the user. So I will format the file, and with the reports also container, and I will put here this one. Okay, but now I need to say with the container I need to add some classes, some CS properties. So I will put these classes in the styles global. So here I will say, okay, all of the classes that have container in our project, it's going to be a margin in the top 5 pixels, in the right 100 pixels, at the bottom 0 pixels, and in the left 100 pixels. I will save the change, and as you can see here, now we have here I have a problem with the welcome. Okay, let's check what happened with welcome container. I put grown the name container, and here we have this class applied. So the idea now is to configure the tables in Angular material, and also we are going to configure some icons and another components like this one, that it is the toolbar. So let's go to our project. I will execute our project now, serve, and wait a little. Okay, here we have our project. I will go to the dashboard, and here we have the user tab. So let's go to the components in Angular material. Here in the table we have the components that we are going to work. First thing that we need is to import this module. So let's go back to our project, and in the user components in the TS we need to import this module. Okay, so now we have the module. The next step is let's see this example. I will copy paste everything to see if it works correctly. So this is the HTML file. I will copy everything. I will go back to our project, and I will paste here the HTML code. In the TS file, I will copy this interface and this data that it is outside of the class. So I will copy this one. I will go here and I will copy this code here. And then I need to copy these two lines inside of the class. So I will copy this one. And also we have only this CS class. So I will copy this one and this one. Okay, I will save the three files and let's see if this works. And here we have the table that it was very easy, the configuration. I will put also a margin top here to do some space here. I will put margin top of 5 pixels. And now we need to personalize a little this table. I don't like this dark. I mean, I don't know how. I will put here zeta 1, and it is, I like more, but you can play if you want to put more shadow or not. So okay, now this is the table, but in our case the interface user is going to have another properties. So let's go to the interface, and I will create a new file that it is going to be user.ts, export interface, and the name is going to be user. And this interface is going to have here in the first column the username. So here I will put username, the type string. In the second column it's going to have the first name, also the type string. Then the last name, the type string, and here, and the last property, it is the sex, also the type string. So here we have the interface. Let's go back to the component TS, and here I will delete this interface, and here I will put that our interface is user, and I need to import here. But obviously here I have an error because our contract is different, so I need to delete this one, and I will put one object. So okay, here the username is going to be T. Gonzalez. Then I need to put the first name, Thomas, the last name, and it is missing only one property, that it is the sex, and it is going to be mass. Okay, or male. Okay, here we have this one, but now it is broken because this element. Okay, we need to see something before. First, I will put element data. I will change the name. It is going to be list user, and I need to put here as a data source. Let's go to the HTML file. Here we have this element is every column, and we have here mat column def. These names should match with this one. Okay. Then we have this title that we can put whatever you want. For example, here in the first one, I will put username. The second one, it's going to be first name, then last name, and then sex. So as you can see here, we have the name of the columns. Here we have the columns that every string here should match with this one. So in our case, we are going to have here username, then we are going to have first name, then last name, and then we are going to have sex. So now we will need to change the HTML file. Then here we need to put username, first name, last name, and sex. I will delete this. Yeah. And then we have here element dot. This is the every element that we have here in our interface. So here I want to put the username, then the first name, the last name, and the sex. I will save the change, and if everything, here we have this is working well, but here it is something that it's not working. Let's check what is going. Username, and here we need to put username in camel case. So here we have our interface working, but I want to put more data. But it is in order to not be bored, I will copy paste some data that I have here. Okay, I will go back to our project, and I will put here list user, and now we have more data. Okay, here, this is in Spanish, but I will change now because I don't like mail. Okay, here we have the table, but I want to add one column more in order to have the different actions of the delete, edit, and search. So let's go back to our project. I need to add here in the columns. I will add a new columns, but it's going to be empty. And here in the HTML file, I need to copy this one time more. The column here, it is going to, sorry, here I need to put actions. Here I need to put actions here. As a title, I don't put, I want to be an empty space. And here I will put for now, sorry, actions, to see if it's working. Well, here we have the actions. Okay, we need to add three elements. So here I will add a link, and within this link I will add icons. If you remember, we need to use mat icon, but for example here I want to use the search icon, but here I have this error because we need to import the mat icon module if we want to use this module. So let's go to Angular Material and import this module. I will copy that and I will paste here. And now we should see the icon here in our project. Okay, we need to add two icon more, edit and delete. Edit and delete, and let's see, and here we have the three icons. I would like to put this icon on the right, so here in this class we can use we can put some text align, maybe, right? I don't know. And here we have the icons. Also, you can put a width for every columns. If you want to put the columns to get more space, you can put here, you can create classes and you can configure that. Okay, so I would like to change here the colors of every button. So here I will create a new class. Let me copy and paste because this one I don't want to waste time in this thing. So um, first, okay, first thing that I want to do is when we pass the cursor for here, I want to have like a pointer. So let's create this class. Here I will create a class pointer in the class pointer, and I will put here pointer in every link. And I need to create here the class pointer. And here the property is cursor pointer. So now if we pass the mouse, we have this cursor pointer. So cursor pointer. Okay, and now I want to add some colors. So here I will put to the search. I will create a new class that is going to be search. Here edit, and here delete. And we need to set some colors that I will copy and paste here. And now if we save both files, we have on here I have a problem with the delete. What is going on? Let me check. We have here edit. I don't have the delete. What is going on? Okay, here I have edit, delete. So here we have the three icons. So the last thing that I want to do here is to add one component more in Angular material, that it is the tooltip. When the user pass the mouse and do hover some elements, I like to show this tooltip. So in order to do that, I need to copy this, and I will paste in the TS file. Here I will put and what we need to do is very simple. Here we can go to the example, to the overview, we can open the code, and the only thing we need to add this one to the elements that we want to use. For example, here in the icon I want to put edit, no, search user. Here edit user, and here delete user. So let's save the files, and as you can see here, we add this beautiful component that you can implement in your project. Okay, so the objective that we have now is to implement the filter to our project. As you can see, if we put here some words, you can filter. I'm going to filter here, and you can filter. And also we are going to implement the paginations. Now we are showing only 5 elements. You can go to the last page, or you can go here and paginate for more items. And also the last thing that we are going to do related to the tables is the order. Okay, so let's start. I will go back to our project, and I will execute here our project. Let's wait a little. And here we have our project. Okay, I will close this one. I will go to the dashboard, and here we have our table. Okay, first thing we are going to do is implement the filter. So let's go to the components in Angular material. Let's go to the tables, and here I want to go and let's go first to the examples and scroll a little down to see some table with filter here. We are going to see how this works. So let's go to the code. First, in the HTML files, as you can see, we need to import this one. But also, if you want to implement this component to to our component, we need to implement import also the mat form file. So let's copy this. Let's go back to our project. Let's go to the user's component, and I will paste here this code outside of the table. I will save the change, and here we have a few problems. First, we need to implement this method, and then we need to import mat label and mat form field. So let's go to Angular material. We need to import this module in the form field. I will copy this one and I will paste here. Okay, I have here. I will import here in the imports. I will save the change. I need to copy this method, because in this moment I copy the method here apply filter, but this method doesn't exist here in the TS file. So let's go to the tables. Let's go to the examples, and here we have our table. Okay, let's go to the TS file, and here we have this method. Okay, I will copy this, I will go back, I will paste here, and here, okay, we need to do something. Here the data source works, we need to create an instance. So I will copy this line, I will paste here, and here I need to pass the data here. I need to import the this, and now let me see. Okay, here I have a problem. Let's see what is the problem. Okay, I think we need to import also the input here. Let's see if this is the thing that it is missing. Mat input module. Let's import this, and let's see if works. Okay, now it is working. There is one class that it is missing, that it is the filter should be okay. I will say that this class matform file here, I want this class should have a width of 100%, and here we have this. Okay, but there are I want to apply the margin top from this element to the element above. So here I will put margin top the 10 pixels, and I will remove these 5 pixels in the table, and here I will put 5 pixels only. Okay, and the last thing that we are going to do related to the filter, first we need to check if the filter is working. Let's check, and the filter is working well. There are two things that I want to change. First, the placeholder, and also I want to apply another style to this filter. It's good, this filter, the style, but if you want to change, you can go back here, and as you can see here, there is here in the form field, in the examples, here you can apply another style. You can read the documentation, you have plenty of styles, but the property that I'm going to use is appearance outlined, and look what is going to happen. I will apply here. The placeholder is going to be user, I don't know. And here I changed the appearance, but the previous one also I like. So we finished the filter. Now we need to implement the pagination. It's super easy. So let's go back to this element pagination, and let's go to the API, and we need to import also this module. Let's import here. Okay, I will save the change. And the thing is, okay, here you can read the documentation. You had plenty of things to do, but let's go to the tables and look. I want to search some tables that have pagination. So here we have one. Okay, we can copy the logic of this one, or maybe I don't know if there is another. Okay, let's go and copy the logic of this one. Okay, what we need to do is in the HTML file we need to add this this element. Let's go and add this element. This element, it is outside of the table. So let's copy this one here. I will format the document. And in the TS file, we need to do one thing. We need to add this line. We need to use these lines in this life cycle hook, and that's all. So let's go to the TS. I need to implement here in the component. I'm going to use this life cycle hook. I will import it, and now I will use it. And what we need to do first, we need to use this view child in order to access to the HTML file. I need to import the view child. I need to import the math paginator. And here I have an error because this property has not been initialized yet, but it's going to be initialized here, and I will use this character of TypeScript. Okay, so, and the last thing that it is missing is this one. So I will copy that. I will save both files, and here we have the pagination, and as you can see, it's working well. But I want we have here a problem with the styles. Okay, here this class should apply also for the table and also for the paginator. So what we can do, I will create a new div with the I will create a new div. I will copy this class, and then I will put both elements, the table and the math paginator, within this div. I will save the change, and here as you can see we have it is better the style. Okay. Okay, the last thing that we need to do, it is the order. It is super easy. So let's go to the component. That the component is this one short header. We need to import here this module. I will import here, and I will import in this component. Okay, we have now the class, and the thing that we need to do is, okay, we need to put in the table this directive, and for every column that we need to apply the order, you need to put this another directive. So I will go here, I will put here in the table math short, and then I will say it. In this case, I think with this is enough. I will put only the first name column is going to have order. The last name is the sex, and the user name not. So, but we need to do something more here in the TS. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to the table and look at some tables here in the examples that we have order. This one not, this one not, sorry. Here. So in the HTML file we need to In the table, we need to add this directive, and for every column that we want to implement the order, you need to import this another directive. And in the TS file, we need to do the same that we did in the pagination. We need to use the view child, and then in the ng after viewing it, you will need to implement this one. So let's do that. Well, here we have the short, and now we need the view child. Here I need to import the mat shorts. I will say that this property is going to be initialized in the ng after viewing it, and now it should be work. So, but here I have a problem, an error. ng containing tags. What is the problem here? We have a problem here in the here. Let's I will save the change. Now it is working, and so let's go to the tables again, to the HTML file, and here we are applying it in the th here, this one. No, sorry, this one, mat short header. Okay, let's see. Here I will save the change, and here we have the order, and I will apply it also to the last name here. And as you can see, the order is working well. There is one thing that I want to improve relating to this page. In this moment, the component user component have the list of this user. I want to create a new service, and the service is going to be the responsible of handle this information about the user. So let's create a new service here in the service folder. So ng she is of service. I want to create a service within the folder service, and the name is going to be user. So here we have the service, the new service, and I want to cut this list of user. I will go to the service and I will paste here. This const, I will remove the const, and we need to import this interface. And here I will create a method that this method is going to return a copy of this list of users. So the name is going to be get list user, and here this method is going to return this global variable, but it is going to return a copy of the array. If you here you can see what this method is doing, but we are returning a copy of the array. And I need to typify this one because I don't like to. This is going to return an array of user. So here we have the service. I will close it, and in order to use the service within the user component, we need to import or inject the service. In order to inject the service, we need to use the constructor. Okay, it is going to be the type private, the name is going to be user service, and the type is going to be user service. Okay, here this I will remove this one, and I will say that this data source it is going to be the type user. And now we need to create a new method. Here I will create a new method that we can call it get users maybe, and we need to use this service, this dot use service dot get list user, and I will create here a const that a new const that with the name user list, it is going to be the type user. and it is going to be an array. And here in this moment, when we execute this method, in this moment we have the array in this user list. What we want to do what we need to do with these arrays is to set to this. Okay, what we can do is um, what we can do is um, is the following. We need to access to the data source, this data source, and we need to set a new instance of math data source. And here we need to set the use of user. But there is one thing that it is missing. Here, when we render the component, we need to call to the user. So in order to do that, we need to use one method of the life cycle of the component, that it is on init. And I will use this method, and here I will call the method that we just created, that it is getUser. Okay, let's see if this refactor is working. So let's go back to our project. I will refresh, and now in this moment we are showing the same information, but behind the scenes we move the logic from the component to the service related to the users. Now we are going to work in the delete method. When the user clicks here in this button, we are going to delete the user and also to show a message. And when the user deletes all of the users, we are going to put a message that we are not, we don't have more users to show. So what we are going to do? Let's start our project. Here I will execute our project, and okay, let's wait to our project. Okay, here we are. I will go to the dashboard, and the idea is when the user clicks here in this button, we need to have an ID of every element and delete this element. In this moment, we don't have an ID for every element. We can use an ID. We can generate with this library. You have plenty of library, but I don't want I don't want the video to be larger, so I will use the index in this moment. So okay, let's go to the component users. And the idea is when the user clicks here in this button, we need to create a method. So I will use event binding. So when the user click, I will execute the method delete user. And here I need to pass to this method, which is the ID. As I said, we should use a library, or maybe we should have a GUID or an ID, because we are not using a database. So let's use the index here. So here, in order to use the index, we can put here a short syntax that it is okay. We can put here let I index, and here we can get the index of the user. So here I can put pass to the method the index, and then I need to create this method delete user. This delete user is going to receive an index, the type number, and then we can do a console log if everything is okay. So let's save both files, and now if we open the console, if I do click here, we have the index of every element, and now we can delete. So what we should do, I will delete this console log. I will go to the we can do that in the user component, or maybe in the user interface. I don't know which is better. Okay, I will go to the service. I will go to the user service, and here I will create another method, because the service is going to be the responsible of handle everything about the data. So Here we have a method to get the user. I will create another method to delete the user, delete user. This method is going to receive also an index, the type number, and here we need to access to this instance, this list user, and the method that we are going to use in this moment is splice. If you pass the mouse here, you can see which is a little documentation, and with the splice we can delete some object or some elements in the array. We need to pass only in this case two parameters. The start point, for example, here if the index is 2, I want to pass 2, and then the number of elements that I want to delete, and in this case I 1. So if you want, in a few words, if you want to delete only one element, this element of the index, you need to pass the index and then how many elements do we want to delete. In this case it's going to be only one, and with that we are going to delete this element of this array. So I will save the change. Here I need to, when the user clicks here in the HTML, we are executing this function. We are here, and now we need to access to the service, user service dot delete user, and we need to pass the index, and then once that the user was deleted, we need to call again the get users. So let's do that. Get users, because we want to refresh the users. So I will save the change. I will go back to the project, and now if I delete one element, as you can see, we are deleting the elements. Okay. The next thing that I want to implement is that when the user deletes all of the elements, here we have an empty table that I don't like. We need to ask if we don't have elements, we need to show a message. For that, we can, here in the data source, as you can see, there is one method. If we put data source dot data, and then you have here this property length, and so we can ask if the element is equal to 0 or higher to 0, and with that we can do some logic to show or not the data. So let's go to the HTML, and here I want to, okay, here we need to, first we need to show a message that we can put here. There are not more users to show, and this label is going to be shown only when data source dot data dot length is equal to 0. Let's check if this works. Well, here we have a problem. We are using the ngIf, but if we want to use the ngIf, we need to import some directives here in the some modules here in the user TS. So let's go back here, and we need to import ngIf. So I will save the change. We don't have any errors, and now if we delete all of the elements, we are showing this one, but we need to hide the filter and the table. So let's go back to the HTML. I will create another div, and I will put within this div these two elements, the table and also the paginator. So I will copy that, and here in this div we need to do the same logic that we did here. I will copy this one, but we need to ask, we are going to show this element when this is higher than 0. So I will save the change. I will go back to our project. Now I will delete all of the elements, and here we have there are not more users to show. Okay, the last thing that we are going to do related to the delete user is we are going to show a message when the user is deleted. Like here, we already implement this. We are going to implement this same component. So what we need to do, this element, it is, which is the element? Which is the element here? Okay, let's go to the login. The element is this one, snacker, and we need to import we need to import this one. So I will copy this one. I will go to the users. I will put here. Here it is. I will copy here this one. I will put here Angular material service. Okay, it's okay. And here I need to import here the module. Okay, we have the module. Then we need to, if we look at the login, we need to import in the constructor this class. So I will copy this class. I will put in the constructor, and then we need to use it. In order to use it, the code is this one. We need to use this instance, the message, which is the position, and which is the duration. Okay, so I will copy this. I will go to the user, and when the user is deleted, here I will put as a text, as a message, the user was deleted successfully, and the duration it's going to be 1.5 seconds. So let's see if everything is working. I will go to the user, and if I delete, here we have the user was deleted successfully. Okay, now we are going to create a new component in order to create new users. We are going to add this button, and when the user clicks in this button, we are going to implement this new component, where this component you have in the right an image, and then you have 3 inputs and 1 select and 2 buttons, and this button go back. So let's start doing this HTML maquetation. So first thing that we need to do, I will execute our project here. Here we have our project. Okay. And we need to create a new component. So in order to create a new component, here I will put, okay, here it is our app. Okay, let's create a new or new component. I will open a new terminal, and I want to create the new components here in the dashboard, and the name is going to be create edit user, because we are going to reutilize, you are going to use this component to create a new user and also to edit the user. So let's create the component. Components, I need to put the paths. It's going to be within the dashboard, and the name of the component is going to be create edit user. Okay, here we have the component, and now I want to put a button here. So let's go to this component that it is users. Here we have the component users, and the first thing that we need to add is the button module that we don't have here. So let's go to Angular material. Let's go to the buttons. I need to copy this import, and here I will import the button. If we don't import this module, we are going to have an error. And the button that I want to put is this one, primary and flat. So let's copy this button. Here we have this button, and we are going to put the button in the toolbar after the span here. So let's check the name of the button. We can put add user, maybe. Let's see how it is look like. Okay, here we have the button, but I want to put the button on the right. You have 1 million of different ways to put the button on the right. In this case, I will do the same approach that we do with the navbar. We copy this class. I mean, this class, I'm going to extract this code because this class is going to be used in the navbar and also in the users. And in order to not repeat the code, I will extract this code and I will put here in the styles global. Okay. And then I need to put this class, and I will put this class in the users here between the user and the button. And here, if I put here this class, this button is going to be on the right. So let's check if this works. And here we have the button. Okay. The next step is when the user clicks here in the button, I want to render the new component that we create. But before that, we need to do some configuration in the router files here. So, and here I will add a new object and I will say, okay, when the route is create user, I want to render the components create edit user component. I will save the change. I will copy this name, and now when the user clicks here, we need to redirect to the new component. So let's go to the here. We have the button. We can use here the directive router link in order to move between components. And here I need to put create a user, but this is the child. I need to put also the father that it is dashboard dash create user. So I will put here dashboard, and it is important that you don't forget to put here the dash. Okay. I will save the change, and this is not going to work. I guess that you can guess why it is not going to work, because we need to import as well this class in this component. So let's go here to the imports and import the router link what is here, this class, and now this should work. If I click here, we are rendering this create this user. So let's start with this page. I will add also a navbar like this, so we can copy the code. Let's go to the dashboard, maybe no dashboard, not maybe to the reports. I will copy this one with the container, and I will paste this code in the create edit user. And here I will put as a title add user, but this is not going to work. We need to import the math toolbar module. So I will copy this one. I will go back to the create edit user. I will import, and then I need to add this module in the import section. So now if I save the both files, let's check here. We have add user, and also we are going to use a card here, another component of Angular material here, the card. This is the one that we are going to use. In order to use this card, we need to import this module. So let's import it. And I will copy this code. So let's see if this works well. Okay, and the title here we can put. Here we are not going to put. Here we are going to put the form, And here we have the car, okay, but I would like to add some margin top. So here in the CS file, I will say, okay, this class, this element is going to have a margin top of 5 pixels. So let's save the file, and here we have a space. Okay. Now we want to create our form, but we are going to have an image here, and in the left part we are going to have the different inputs. We can do that with a lot of approach, like you can use some classes of Bootstrap, you can use Flexbox, you can use HTML, CSS, but in this case we are using Angular material and we are going to use this grid list in order to implement this. It is super easy. Okay, let's go. In order to do that, we need to import this list. So I will copy this. I will go to the component and we need to add this here. And now let's go to the example. I will copy this example to see if everything is working well, and then we can look to the code. Okay, here as you can see here, this for it is the new syntax. If you want to do for in Angular 17 or higher, this is a syntax that you can use instead of use the old one. So I will copy this and I will paste in the HTML file here, and also in the TS we have this interface and this one. This one we are going to delete, but I want to see if it works correctly. So let's check. I will save both files, and here it is the grid working. Okay, let's go to the code and see a little. Here, as you can see in the HTML, we have this grid had 4 columns and the row height is 100 pixels. Well, the row height is this one. If you want to do this higher, you can put more. And this math grid and these columns is this math grid, how many columns have. In this case, it had 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you have, okay, the first element have three columns and 1 row. Now when we implement our system, you are going to understand more, but here you can play with this property and this another property. So let's go to our project. Here I will put 2 BRs. This I'm going to delete this in a little. And the first thing, we need to use this directive, math grid list. So I will copy this one. Sorry. Okay. And here we have our math list. So first we need to put every tile. This is the name that we have here. And here, for example, I will put here something, and this one I will. So first we need to configure the math grid list. How many columns we are going to have? Also we are going to have 4, and the row height it's going to have in our case 100, also 100 pixels. The first till I will put some colors here. I will put so I will put some color here. I will copy this. I will add here, but I will put here this color light blue. So I will put here this string to see if everything is working well. So let's go back, and here we have something. Okay. Let's go back, and the next thing we need to say to this tile how many calls we are going to have. In this case, we are going to have only in this one, and how many rows also we are going to have in this case 1. Let's see how it is look like, and here we have okay this one. Then I will add another tile that it is where we are going to put the image, and in this case we are going to have 3 columns and 5 rows. And I will change also here the color to the color is the same. And as you can see here, this one have 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the attribute, and the call is 3 because we have 4 columns in total, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this one it is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here we are going to put the username, here the image, and then I will copy this one 3 times more, Then here we are going to put the first name, the last name, here the sex, and then one more time to the buttons back and accept. Let's see how this look like, and this is the structure of our form. So now I can delete this one, so I will delete this, and also I can delete this interface, and I can delete this one. So everything is working. So okay, I will put the image here. The image that we are going to use is the same image that we have here. So here I will add the image, and here in the CRC we need to do a reference to this file. You can use absolute or relative reference, and in this case I will use relative, so I need to go up one level, another level, and then I need to go to the assets, EMG, and user. So I will save the change. I will go to the dashboard, and here we have the image. That it is super big. We can apply an alt. If the image doesn't appear, you can put here some text like user image. You can see here that we have this text. This is the purpose of the alt. And then I will put here a width of 250 and a height of 250. So I will save the files and look that this is the structure of our app. Okay, now I will put now I can delete here the this style. I will delete because I don't want to use. Okay, and now I need to put here the input. So let's go to Angular material. We need to import the form field. So I need to import this to our component. Here the component is ABP component dashboard create edit. Here we need to import this module, and also we need to import the input module. Here the form file and also the input. I will copy this. I will go back. Okay. And now I will copy an example, this example, the input, this one. I will copy here in the HTML file, here in the username. I will put in the as a title username. I will save the file, and here we have the first one. But I want this one is too smaller. We can say that this element in this file is going to have a width of 80%. I will save the change, and now 80%. This is an element, and here it is a little higher. Okay, we have username. Then I need to put also the username, first name, the same with the last name. I will save the change. I will format the document, and here we have username, first name, and last name. Here for the sex, we are not going to use an input. We are going to use a select. Here another element. Here, and in order to use the select, we need to import this module. So I will copy this. I will go back. I will add to here. Okay, and then I will go and see the example here. I don't like this example. Maybe I want a simpler one. Sorry. Select. Let's go to the form field. Here we have a select. Here I will copy this I will copy this. So I will go back to our projects, and I will put here in the sex, I will put as a title sex, and here in the value I will put male, female, and here I will put male, and here female. I will save the file. Let's see if everything is working. And here we have the select. Okay. And last but not least, we need to put the back, the two buttons, one button to add to add or edit the user, and the other button to go back. So we need to import this library, this module. And I will put, okay, this button, the primary, to add a new user. So let's go to flat primary, and the basic for come back, for go back to the previous one. So I will put here back and add or accept back and accept. I don't know if this. Okay, we have back and accept, and this one it is two. I will put a margin right to separate a little, 5 pixels maybe. Okay, and here we have the two buttons, and the last thing that I will do in order to finish the HTML is when the user click here in the back, I want to redirect the user to the previous component, to this one. So what we need to do is to use here the router link directive, and here I want to redirect the user to the dashboard user page, and we need to import here the router link here in the import. Router link. So let's check if this works, and this is working. There are two things that we are missing. One is to add the users, and when the user clicks here in accept, we need to add to this array, and another one is to edit the user. If you think that the video is useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay, so let's go to this screen, and we need to implement reactive forms. We already implemented here reactive forms, and then now we need to do the same here in the users. Okay, so let's go to the project. Let's go to the create edit user, and the third thing that we need to do is import the module reactive form module. So then I will create a new local variable that it is going to be the type form group, and I will bind this variable with our form. But here I forget to create the form, so I will create here the form. I will delete this, and I will put everything that we have here inside of the form. Okay, here we are. And then I will use, through property binding, I will use this directive of Angular that it is form group, and I will bind this directive with the local variable that we have here. Okay, we have the first step. The second step, well, here I have this error because I need to, okay, let's create the constructor. I will inject the class that it is going to help us to build the form, that it is form builder, and I will say that this local variable, this dot form, it's going to be equal to this dot form builder, and the form builder is going to be the type group, and here I need to pass the configuration, and the first property is username, and here username, it's going to initialize it empty, and it is required. I will use validator.required. Okay, we have username, and I will do the same with the other properties. You have username, first name, last name, and sex. And now we need to bind every property with every input. So here we have the input of username. Here I need to use the directive form control name. It is going to be equal to username. I will copy this one. I will do the same with the first name, but here I need to put first name. The same with the last name here in the input, last name. And the sect, it is important here in the sect that you apply this directive in this here in the mat select. So here I need to put sex. Okay. Then here when the user clicks in accept, I forget to put which is the type of the button. It is the type, it is submit. And then when the user clicks here in submit, we are going to execute the ng submit method, submit, and here I will put save user. This method I haven't created yet. I will create now. So now I will do a console log of this form to see if everything is working properly. So I will save both files. Here I have a problem. I don't know what is the problem here. Well, here is the problem. I will save again. Form group, which is the okay form group, but we are using here reactive forms. Which is the problem? Form. Here it is here it is form group up. I will save again, and now it is okay. Now it is working well, I think. Let's check. I will add here my user. I will put here my name, my last name, and if I click here in accept, as you can see here, we have all of the values and the status of the form is valid. Okay, but I want to put this button disable if some of the elements is if the status of the form is invalid. I want to put this one disabled. So we did this in the other screen. So here I will use property binding. I will disable the button if the method, this one, invalid is true. So I need to use this method. So invalid. So I will save the change, and now when we render the component, this button is disabled, but now is enabled. So now when the user clicks here, we need to get the data and create an object, and then we need to add the object to the service. So let's go to the service, to user service, and I will create here another method that it is going to be named add user, and here add user is going to receive as an input or as a parameter a user, the type user, and here we need to add this user to this array. You have a few ways to do that. In this case, you can use push, but if you put push, the user is going to be added at the here in the last position. But if you want to add the user at the first, because when we click here, we want to see the user in the first position, no? So in this case, we can use the method unshift and add the user. So we have here the service done. Now we need to go here, and here I will create a new constant user. The type is going to be user, and here we need to create the object, and I will put here in the username I need to access to the form, to this global local variable. I need to access to the value, and the value that I want here is the username. Okay, I will do the same with the others, with the first name, the same with the last name, and the same with the sex. Okay, I will do a console log to see if we are getting the data correctly. So I will copy here this. Let's check. I will put something here. And as you can see here, we have the object. Okay. Now with this object, we need to add to the service, but we need to add the service here in the constructor. I will create, I will inject through dependency injection. The name of the service is going to be user service, and this one is going to be the type use service. So now we can use this service, and here we have the methods. The method that we need to use in this moment is add user, and I will add here the user, and then okay, let's check if this works. Let's go. Here I will put my name. Okay, maybe it works. We need to go back to the users, and here it is my user, as you can see. Okay, but the idea is when the user clicks here, we need to show a message, and also we need to redirect the user to the previous page. So here there is something that I want to change. Here I will put mail in this way. This one because in the did, I will explain why I'm putting in this way, because it is necessary in the did, because we are not reading the data from the database, but okay. Okay, so in order to redirect the user, we need to inject another class that it is router. I need to import it, and here I need to access to this variable, use the method navigate, and here I need to say, okay, I want to go to the dashboard users. Okay, let's see. I will go back. Okay, let's test. Let's check if this works. And here we have this object added to the list. So now I want to show a message when the user is added. So let's do the same logic that we did in the user page. So here what we need to do, we need to import these two lines here. I will copy this one. This is the module that we need. I need to import this module here in the imports. Okay. Then what else we need? We need to inject here in the constructor this class. I will copy this one. I will inject in the create edit user. Okay, and then we need to use here. I am in the user component. I need to copy this code. I will format here the code. And here in the create edit, I need to put here the message. Okay, the user was added successfully, and then we are being redirected to the user. So let's test this, and okay, here we have this last user. I will put my user. Let's check, and here the add button is working properly. The last thing that we need to do is the did. So let's go to our project, and we need to configure the routing. So here I will go to this route because we are going to reutilize this component create edit user. We are going to use both for create the user and also for edit the user. So I will copy this one and I will paste, and here I will, when the path is edit user, and the idea is when the user clicks here in the button, we need to render the user to the edit user, and we need to pass dynamically the ID of the user, the ID of the user. So this is the idea. So, and we're going to go to this component, but the behavior is going to be different. Here we need to put edit user. We are going to load the information of the user, and the user can edit the user, and then he can click here in accept and update the user. So in the routers here we need to put the new route, and here the magic if this data is going to be dynamic. I mean, if you, the idea is if the user clicks here, we are going to pass here the result. It's going to be edit user 1. If the user clicks here, it's going to be another value, but the thing is here the data is going to be dynamically, and for that we need to put here this in this way. Okay, we have the routes, app routes configured. Now we need to configure when the user clicks here in the button, in this button, we need to redirect the user to this route. So let's go to this button. What is that? Here in the user component, here we have the button edit, and when the user clicks, for that I will use the directive router link, and I will say, okay, I want to go to the dashboard, and also I want to go to the component user, how is the component? Dashboard edit user, and I need to put here dynamically the ID. In this case, I will use string interpolation. There is a few ways to do this, the router link. There are another ways. This is one, but you can do. There are a few ways. Okay, so now I will save the change. I will click here, and as you can see, we are here now. This is the route. If the user clicks here, we have the two. Okay. Now, in a which is the diff? If the user clicks here in add user, we don't have this value, and this value is going to say us if we need to do an add transaction or an edit transaction. Okay. Now, when the user clicks here, we need to get this value from the URL. So let's go to create edit user. And how we can do that? First, I will create here a new variable, ID user, that in the case of the add transaction, this value is going to be undefined, but in the case of in the case of edit, it's going to be a number. So this ID user, it's going to be a number or undefined. Or undefined. So then here in the constructor we need to get this value. For that I will insert here another class that it is necessary. This class is going to be private, and I will call it route, and the class is going it is activate route, and the name is a route. Okay. Now, in order to access to this variable, we need to use this instance, this.route. Here I need to use this the snapshot params, and then here I need to put the param that we put in the here in the routes. Here we call it ID, so here I need to put ID. This one I will, okay, let's do a console log of this and check if this is working properly. I will copy this one, I will copy here. Let's go to our project, and here we have 1. If I put here 3, we have 3. Okay. But this one is the type string, and here we have the ID that it is number. So if here you put a plus, now, well, here it is. Let me check something. I will put that this line, it's going to be equals to this ID. This ID is going to be equal to okay. This is the type number. I didn't say anything. Okay. Now, if the user, in this case, when it's edit, the ID user is a number. Otherwise, if we put here an add user, this variable is going to be undefined. And so, when the user render here the page, we need to check if it is edit transaction or add transaction. So, in order to do that, we need to implement this the onInit method. I will implement this method, and here we need to check. Okay, we need to do an if and check if this dot ID user is equal to undefined. Here the action is add user. Otherwise, it is edit user. And here, when it is edit user, we need to change here, because if we click here, it says add user. We need to do that dynamically. So I will create here a new variable action, the type string, and it is going to be at first it is going to be add, and let's go to the HTML call, and here I will put this variable, action. Let's see if this, okay, it is working. But in the case of edit, here I will say that this action, it is action, it is going to be edit. So let's check. Okay, here you can see here, if the transaction is add, we have add user, and if the transaction is edit, we have edit user. Okay, now if the transaction is edit user, in this moment here we have the ID of the user, but we need to fill this input. Okay, in order to fill that, we need to work in a method here in the user service that it is get user. I will create a new method that this method is going to have the index, index number, and here we need to find we need to return this user. I will return. I will access to the list user, and here I need to use I need to access to the array here, user, and here I will search for this number. And with this line, if the user insert 0, we are going to return this object. If the user, if we have a 2, we are going to have this one. We can check this one. Okay, let's go here. Here I will create a new method that it is get user. This method get user is going to receive the index or the ID of the user, the type number, and here I will call the method of the user service that we created, that it is get user, and I will pass here the user, and then I will save this information in a new constant, the type user. I will do a console log to see if we are getting the user correctly, and I need to call this method here, this get user, and I need to pass through parameters this ID user. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, I will pass here the this user T Martinez, and as you can see here we have T Martinez here. We can go and pass this another user, and we have this user. Okay, now we have this information in this component, but the thing is we need to put this value here, this value here, this value here, and this value here. How we can do that? Very easy. We need to access to the form, and here you can use two ways. You can use this method set value, or you can use this method path value. The difference is if you use set value, you need to set values for all of the elements that you have configured here. But if you use patch value, you can set only one, only two, the amount that you want. Okay, in this case it is the same. I will put here that the username is the name here. The username, it is going to be equals to this, to the user dot username, and I will do the same with the first name here, with the last name, and with the sex. Okay, let's check if this is working well. As you can see here, if I click here, we have all of the data, all of this data, and if I click in another user, it is working properly. Okay, the last thing that we need to know is when the user clicks here in this button accept, and if the user change something, we have this method save user, but in this moment save user, it is on, we are handling only the this add user. So we need to know, we need to do a little refactor here. Save user. Here I will create another method that it is add user, and I will put these three things or two things. These three things I will put here in add user, and this one is going to receive as a parameter the user. And now we need to check. I will do an if, and we need to check if this user is equal to undefined. In this case, I will call this method add user, and I will pass this user as a parameter with this, with all of the information that they put the user. Otherwise, we need to edit the information. But the thing is, we need to edit this information in the object that the user clicked here. So, what we need to do? Here I will create another method that it is edit user. So I will create this method here, edit user. This method is going to receive as a parameter also a user, but we need to here we need to edit the user. So let's go to the service, and we need to create another method that it is edit user, and this method is going to receive as a parameter two things. One is the user, and the another one, it is the ID of the user that we want to modify. ID user, the type number. So now what we need to do? Here we have this user, and we need to access to the user that the index of the user that the user put, and we need to modify every value. So here, for example, if the user clicks here in the first one, we are passing here a 0, and we are saying, okay, in the first object, I want to the username is going to be equals to the new username that the user added. This is the logic. So instead of put 0, we are going to do this dynamically. And here I will do this one for every property. First name, last name, and also for the sex. Okay, we have this method done. Now we need to call it in the create edit user here. So here I will call the method from in the user service, edit user, and we need to pass the user. And also here this method edit user, he needs to receive the ID of the user, the type number, and this ID also is going to be here. And here we need to pass also the ID of the user, this.id user. Okay, once the edit user was, let's check if this is working. Okay, let's go. Here we have this name. I will change this name. And as you can see here, it was modified. We need to do those two things. We need to add the message that everything was added correctly, and also we need to implement the redirect button. So what we need to do is I will copy these two lines. I will copy, and I will put here in edit user. Here I will put the user was updated successfully. Maybe we can refactor because here we are repeating code. Maybe we can create a method, but okay, we can finish now the tutorial. So let's check if everything is working. I will add a new user. Okay, as you can see here, we have add user, and if I click accept, we have the user was added successfully, and here it is the user, and I will put that I want to change the name. Here I will put Thomas. Here we have edit, and if I click accept, the user was updated successfully, and here we have the user. We finished the tutorial. If you think that it was useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and ring the bell to step in the loop when I release new videos. And also, if you have some ideas about what subject we can do, you can leave comment in the description. See you in another video.